Lighting is one of the most overlooked aspects of kitchen design, yet it has the power to transform your space from dull and dysfunctional to bright and usable. Whether you're renovating or building new, understanding the common mistakes of kitchen lighting can save you from regret in a poorly lit kitchen. In this video, I'll show you the 5 most common kitchen lighting mistakes and give you practical solutions on how to fix them. Remember these? Back in the day, these single you-know-what lights were the kitchen staple. But those days of the lone ceiling fixture are long gone. A single light source casts shadows, creates uneven illumination, and leaves key work areas in the dark. Now, there's no problem in having a ceiling light like this, well, not like that particular one, but just make sure it's not the only source. When you're preparing a lighting plan, you need to layer in lighting. Basically, adding different light sources and locations that give you light for various tasks performed in the kitchen. There's 3 main lighting types that you'll want to concentrate on: ambient, task, and accent lighting. Ambient lighting is the general illumination of the space. Usually in modern kitchens, this is with recessed or pot lights. It could be with a chandelier, or it could be one of those you-know-what lights. Task lighting is focused light for prep areas. Think about under cabinet lighting for your countertops. And accent lighting is decorative lights to highlight features. This could be pendants or in-cabinet lighting. Now that you have enough types of light in your design, you'd think that were enough, but you'd be wrong, as this is only part of the fix. All light is not created equal. Therefore, it's important to select the correct types of light for what you desire. This is where mistake number 2 comes into play: ignoring color temperature. There's a big scientific explanation behind this, but what's important is that light has different color temperatures, measured in kelvins. This is what makes light look yellowish to bluish. Did you know that picking the wrong color temperature can make your kitchen look sterile or dingy? Too cool or bluish light can feel cold and sterile, while too warm yellowish light can distort colors. Therefore, choose lights with a color temperature between 2700 and 4000 Kelvin. This range provides a soft white to natural white tone that's both inviting and functional. Now, personally, for task purposes, I prefer light to be a little cooler. But because you have different light sources, you have the ability to mix the temperature of each source for its intended purpose. Now, under cabinet lights can be cooler than ambient lights, which are in the ceiling, which are typically warmer. It is, however, recommended that you pick the same temperature for every light source, but I tend to disagree with this, so take that into consideration. Mixing light tones can make the space feel unbalanced when everything is turned on. But this channel is specifically about functionality and not aesthetics, so therefore I tend to lean a little bit toward the more functional light for task purposes. Besides, there are other factors that determine the balance of light in a kitchen, and considerations like day to night transition, eye strain, color rendering are also important things to think about. It's quite easy to find lights with the color temperature that you desire. It's marked on the front of the box or package and is one of the key elements that consumers are looking for. Many just don't know why they're looking for it. So here's a breakdown of the different ranges of color tone and why they're useful in a kitchen. 2200 to 2700 Kelvin is known as extra warm white. It emits a soft yellowish glow similar to candlelight or traditional incandescent bulbs. This range is ideal for creating a cozy and inviting atmosphere in dining areas or breakfast nooks, particularly in rustic or farmhouse style kitchens. However, it may not provide adequate brightness for task-oriented zones. Moving slightly higher, 2700 to 3000 kelvins, or warm white, offers a more subtle yellow tone and is commonly used in ambient lighting in traditional kitchens. This range pairs beautifully with natural wood or earth-toned finishes, making it perfect for under cabinet light in casual spaces. However, it can make white or cool tone surfaces appear slightly yellow. For a more neutral look, 3000 to 3500 Kelvin, often called soft white or neutral white, strikes a balance between warm and cool tones. This temperature works well for general lighting in a variety of kitchen styles, from traditional to modern, and is versatile enough for both ambient and task lighting. It complements a mix of warm and cool finishes, such as wood and stainless steel, making it a popular choice. Now, going a step cooler is 3500 to 4000 Kelvin, or cool white. Provides a bright, clean light with just a hint of coolness. This range is ideal for task lighting in work areas like countertops and sinks, as it enhances the details and textures in surfaces like granite or quartz. It's also a favorite in modern and contemporary kitchens, offering functionality with a welcome feel. For more precision, 4000 to 4500 Kelvin offers a brighter, neutral to cool tone that mimics daylight without being overly harsh. This is especially useful for task-focused areas such as chopping zones, pantry interiors, or for highlighting features like a backsplash or a textured wall. Kitchens with an industrial or professional aesthetic often benefit from this range. On the other hand, 5,000 to 6,500 Kelvin, known as daylight or cool daylight, produces a bright bluish-white light that closely resembles natural daylight. While it's excellent for high detail tasks like reading recipes or inspecting food, it can feel overly clinical and cold in residential spaces, making it better suited for commercial kitchens or utility areas. It's important to note that the Kelvin temperature has nothing to do with the physical temperature of the light. What determines the physical temperature of a light is how much energy it uses measured in watts. An incandescent bulb gets very hot to touch because 90% of its energy is dissipated as heat, also making it quite inefficient. Just remember when you were a kid and you tried to unscrew the 100-watt light bulb and you burned your fingers. Not good. Now let's go another level deeper to a mistake that most people don't even know that they're making. There's an aspect of kitchen lighting that rarely gets talked about, but it's also a really important part of how our kitchens are lit and particularly how things look. Ever wonder why your countertop or food looks dull under certain lights? It's because of a low color rendering index, or CRI. Lights with a CRI below 80 fail to display true colors well. Color rendering index is a measurement of how true a light renders color compared to a natural light. It has a bunch of stuff to do with wavelengths and light spectrum, but all you really care about is if your strawberries are looking like what they're supposed to. This aspect of lighting is also important in how your kitchen looks. When you pick out a certain tile, floor, or cabinet color in a store, you are seeing that color under whatever CRI those light fixtures are. Likely fluorescence, which could have a CRI between 70 and 90. When you take that sample home, it might look completely different depending on the CRI of the light source that's in your home, or if you take it outside. Has the person in the paint store or cabinet shop ever asked you to take a sample outside? I've done it to clients lots of times. The reason is that this is the truest representation of the color unless their light source is 100 CRI, and it's likely not. So it's important to opt for lights with a CRI of 90 plus, especially in kitchens where accurate light representation is critical. But how do I know the light CRI? Well, it couldn't get any easier because most bulb manufacturers put it right on the front of the box. And if not, it's on there somewhere, it's not hard to find. If you're shopping for LEDs, you shouldn't have a problem finding a light of CRI and above, as manufacturers take this index into consideration when designing the technology for modern lighting sources. It's also important to note that you can have a low Kelvin light with a high CRI. The room will have a warm tone, but the colors will still be vibrant and true. While I do think it's okay to mix color tones, you should opt for lights that all have the same high CRI to ensure that colors you're seeing are accurate. I'm a big advocate for the more lights the better. When planned properly, you'll have the most options for daily use. Plus, adding dimmers to everything gives you a ton of flexibility. So this next mistake is a huge no-no. The most important zones, like countertops, sinks, and stovetops, often lack adequate lighting. We call it task lighting because it lights up the tasks we do. Now, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I really appreciate task lighting while I'm doing anything in the kitchen. This mistake not only reduces functionality, but causes poor visibility while working, increasing the risk of accidents, strained eyes, uneven illumination, diminished aesthetic appeal, harder to maintain cleanliness, missed opportunity for energy efficiency, and inadequate support for multitasking, and also could lower your resale value. But this problem is easy to avoid. Plan for it early in the design phase, and if you're already dealing with a poorly lit work area, you can install lights at any time. I just prefer that they be done beforehand and that they're hardwired. But some light is better than no light, so do what you have to make sure that you include task lighting in key areas. Installing under-cabinet LED strips or puck lights to illuminate prep areas will give your kitchen a massive lift. Plus, they're energy efficient and often dimmable for added versatility. Add a high CRI rating and the perfect color tone, and your kitchen is going to be, as the kids say, lit. At least that's what my kids say. If you want to install under-cabinet lighting as task lighting, You should place the strip lights closer to the middle front edge of the cabinets so the countertop will be exposed to as much of the light beam as possible. Don't put LEDs so far back that they're touching on the wall. An LED strip typically has a light beam angle of 120 degrees, so putting it too close to the wall will result in light loss and over illumination of the top and back of the wall. So when in doubt, put them in the middle, underside of the cabinet. As mentioned in the start of this video, lighting is often overlooked in the kitchen renovation process. Lighting is one of the most overlooked aspects of kitchen design. We can easily get mesmerized by the layout options, the color combinations, the countertop choices, the appliances, the accessories, etc., 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 that we forget about lighting or figure it will just fall into place. This is a big mistake. Many homeowners pick out light fixtures as an afterthought, and the result is mismatched styles, poorly spaced fixtures, improper locations, and lighting that doesn't meet the kitchen's needs or the homeowner's needs, which is very, very important. Therefore, start with a lighting plan as part of your kitchen design process, and be sure to mention to your designer to include this in their deliverables. I've included a downloadable checklist in the description below that will help guide you in making a proper lighting plan. It's well worth checking out. Avoiding these 5 mistakes is critical, but it's not the only thing to consider. This video gives a great breakdown of some other factors that you should be thinking about when lighting your kitchen. If you need help with a lighting plan, it's an essential part of my kitchen design solution. So click the link in the description below and set up a call with my team to find out more. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.